Hi guys. So I think I said in one of my earlier videos, probably like my TBR or something, that I wasn't gonna do a Stephen King video this Booktober. I lied. So last Booktober I made, in the 7 days I did it, I made a Stephen King TBR and a Stephen King like reading wrap up. I'm just combining those because I only read one Stephen King since last year, I think. I don't know, I'm pretty sure I've only read one Stephen King, but I have my stack of read and unread. It's not a huge stack. I'm not like in any hurry to read Stephen King novels. I'm just reading them as I like. So I'm gonna go over the ones I have read, give you like my favorite, tell you my favorite ones and stuff like that, and then I'll go over my TBR. As you saw in the thumbnail, we have It, the iconic It. I have read this. It is probably the biggest book I've ever read in my life. It's not my favorite Stephen King book, I will admit. It took me 3 years to read this bad boy. I do want to reread it eventually, but the one scene, if you know, you know, the one scene just makes me never want to touch this book. But I do want to reread it. I was genuinely creeped out by this, which is the whole point of Stephen King books. I think I gave it 3 stars, 3.5 stars. Yeah, it's okay. It's not my favorite. I can see why I like it. I do love the old and the new movies though. So that's this Stephen King book. Next we have one of my all-time favorite Stephen King books, and that's The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. It's about a girl who gets stuck in the woods. You have to find her, and she's like, I think 12, 9, between the ages of 9 and 12. I really love this. It's super short. Okay, clarification. I listen to almost every Stephen King book on audio. I love listening to his books via audiobooks. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the only way I can get through them or not. I just love, I've read all the ones I've read. I have read either all of it or portions of it through audio. Just clarifying, because I'm going to mention that a lot. So there you go. I read this while I was walking and hiking through the woods via audio, so it was extra creepy. I loved it. It's short, it's sweet, but it's so thrilling, and it's probably my favorite. I think I gave it 4 stars. So there we go. I've yet to rate a Stephen King novel 5 stars too, by the way. I don't know why. I think I'm like saving it. Next I have Shift, which is a collection of short stories. I liked some of them. I hated some of them. This is a solid 3 star. I think he does short stories a lot better than he does novels. Just because his endings are better in the short stories, which is why I think I love The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon so much, because it's not like a brick. It's just a tiny little book. Yeah, this one's a solid 3 stars. I do need to read more of his short stories, I will admit that, but I don't read short stories a lot unless they're for class, so I haven't bought another collection yet. So there we go. Next I have Pet Sematary. I think this is tied for my #1 spot, which I think I said last year. The next book is the one it's tied with. I love this. It's classic Stephen King. I think this one I read all through audio as well, and I loved it. It was super creepy. It was so good. Some of the passages still stay with me, and it was just so good and so like atmospheric and dark, and I loved it. And I also gave this one, I think, 4.5 stars. It was so good. I definitely want to reread this one the most out of all the ones I've read so far. The other one it's tied with is The Shining, classic staple Stephen King. I love the movie, and I know the book differs. I did read also this through mostly audio. I think towards the end I switched to physical because I just wanted to know. As you will see, I'm also working on the sequel. This one was really good, but like I said, it's pretty much tied with Pet Sematary, but I think I like Pet Sematary just a bit more. But I still really enjoyed this, and I'm glad that I read it. Yeah, I like Pet Sematary more. I'm making that official on here. Pet Sematary had less like boring moments throughout the book. Okay, so the last and newest addition to my read pile for Stephen King is The Mist. Okay, one of the shortest books I could have read for Stephen King. Yeah, I read this again via audiobook, and I really enjoyed it. I loved the movie because the ending of the movie stayed with me for so long, so I wanted to read the book, and I liked it. I will say it is so short, but there were still moments where I was bored, but that's okay. Again, not my favorite. I think I gave it 4 stars, maybe 3. I should have checked before I made this video. But yeah, I still really enjoyed it. I will say, I think for my short novels by him, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, still my top 1 for like his short length novels. So there we go. So those are the 6 Stephen King books I've read That's it. I've only ever read 6. I have 3 that I own that I have not read. Oh wait, that's a lie. I have 4. Hold on. I'm back. Hello. Oh my god, I'm gonna fall. Wee. Like my shirt? It's my favorite scary movie. Anyways, I have 4 books that I own that I haven't read yet, and I refuse to buy more Stephen King's, well, until Christmas. But I plan on reading one and then it'll replenish. Anyways, the one I almost forgot was Gerald's Game. I've yet to read this. I got this for $1 at like a half price books, and I couldn't pass it up because it was actually really decent condition for a hardcover. I usually don't like reading Stephen King's in hardcover because when I read audiobooks I sometimes read along. But yeah, I have this. All I know is she gets handcuffed to a bed right before her and I believe her husband are about to canoodle, and then he dies and she's stuck in the handcuffs. That's all I know. So I'm excited to read this, and then I really want to watch, I think it's a movie on Netflix because I've heard decent things about that. So there we go. So the Stephen King book I plan on reading like in October, and I've started the audiobook. I'm not at all very far, is Dr. Sleep. This is the sequel to The Shining. It follows Dan Torrance, who was the son of the couple in The Shining. I don't know anything about this other than that he's their son. And Ewan McGregor plays him in the movie that I've been putting off seeing because I want to read the book. So I'm reading the book so I can watch Ewan McGregor. That's pretty much it. And I like The Shining, so why not? So yes, I'm reading Dr. Sleep actively-ish. I'm like 10 pages in. Actually, I can tell you right now. I'm quite literally like 10 pages in, but that's okay. I'll make it through eventually. And yes, I'm listening to it via audio before I forget. I just have to aggressively tell you how much I read his books via audio. Next, we have 2 more that I haven't read yet. These are both not really horrors, I don't think. One's a thriller, crime thriller, a part of a series, and the other one is a book about illness, if that doesn't give it away. So we have Joyland by Stephen King. This is a part of like the hard case criminal books. He has a couple like this, and I think these are just like thriller murder mysteries. This one appealed to me the most because it takes place at a carnival. I love carnival settings in books, especially like spooky horror books, so I want to read it. I started it a while ago, got like 50 pages in, and then gave up. Don't know why. I think I just got bored, and I don't think I had the audiobook for it. So yeah, there's this one. I hope to read this one early in like the first half of next year, but we will see. And then we have a ginormous book that I'm very scared to read because of my trauma with trying to read it, and that's The Stand. This is about an illness, which with the whole thing going on in the world right now, I don't know if I want to talk about read about another pandemic, but it's huge. This book is absolutely huge. I think it's bigger than it. It is smaller, so it looks fatter. I have the audiobook for this at the ready. I'm just so scared. I'm terrified to read this, not because of like, well, kind of because of the subject matter now, but mainly because of the size. I don't want it to take me another 3 years, so I think at some point, like next year, either over the summer holidays or winter holidays next year, not this year, I'm just gonna hunker down and listen to this. So there we go. So that was a very quick update. I really have not read much or changed my TBR much since last year. I will say that the next Kings I'm hoping to get probably for Christmas are going to be Misery and Carrie, because those are the 2 besides the ones I own that I really want to read. Salem's Lot might also come into my collection soon-ish, but yeah, Carrie and Misery are definitely the next 2 I'm going to buy of his works. Hopefully I can knock out 1 or 2 more before those get added, because I don't want this TBR to get super large and uncontrollable. So I'm trying not to limit how many Stephen Kings I buy, which I haven't bought any or received any since last Christmas when I got The Stand. So if I limit that, then I'm only getting Stephen Kings at Christmas, which is fine by me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this really quick Booktober Stephen King update. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the little like icon, as well as if you would like subscribing to my channel. If you have any Stephen King suggestions or opinions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys for my next Booktober video. And you will see an update for this video in next year's Booktober, because I'm only going to talk about Stephen King once a year. whatever. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next Booktober video. Bye guys.